Hi everyone, EG here, and we're going to talk today about vision boards. It is late morning, right before New Year's, a couple days before New Year's, and I thought it was a good topic to discuss. If you've ever made a vision board, have you been happy with it? Did it work for you? Did it not work for you? Have you, maybe you've never tried one. So if you're interested in what possibly a vision board can do, I'm going to share my experience with you of this past year where I probably had the most productive vision board I've ever had. So we're going to get to that in just a minute. So I haven't always done vision boards. I've only used them sporadically probably in my life. I think the first time I did one was probably in my 30s. And I remember doing one maybe 10, 15 years ago that I actually, what I did is I stuck it on the wall of my closet, but the problem was I never looked at it. And that's one of the things we're going to discuss today. Like, it's not just about doing the vision board, it's how you use the vision board. I think that's important. But anyway, nothing really came much of that vision board. So then for a number of years, I didn't do it. And then this last about a year ago, I did a vision board for 2024, and it wasn't really just specifically for that year, but it was like these were my intentions and my hopes and my goals for the future, basically. And so I'm going to show you that vision board in a few minutes, and then I'm going to go over like some specifics about it, things that I actually are manifesting. They're coming true, and or already have come true. So I'm going to show you that vision board in just a moment, and we'll get into the specifics of it, what worked, what didn't work, what already has come true, basically, and all of that. But I wanted to say just a couple of general things about vision boards. First of all, you can do them any way that you feel comfortable doing. I like doing them on like a poster board kind of thing. I like cutting out, I'm old school, obviously. And I like cutting out pictures and phrases, and then I put like little inspirational sayings on there, and that's what I enjoy. But there's no right or wrong way to do a vision board, whatever works for you. I saw one creator talk about using like a vision notebook instead of a board. So if you're traveling around or you want to keep it with you, you can always refer to it. I did try that one year. Just didn't work for me. I didn't like putting it in the journal where you have to like flip through the pages to look at your things. I like having it all in one, visual field, basically. So, but people also do them virtually online. They create them and then they have it on their phone or their tablet or their computer, and then they can always look at it there. Again, though, you have to make an effort to say, oh, I'm going to look at my vision board if you do it that way. So now with me just about to travel here, if I make a vision board, which I'm still thinking about doing for this month, and if I do that, I'll probably film some of that for you. But if I do that, what I'm going to do is create the board, and then I'll just take a photo of it and then take that with me on my phone. So because I'm not obviously taking a vision board with me. So anyway, let me take you and show you my vision board, and then I'm going to take it off where it is. Okay, so I apologize for the lighting in here. So my vision board, I wanted to film it first where it is. It's in my little dressing room area, I call it, which is just adjacent to my bathroom. And I basically look at it every time I go, have to use the bathroom or take a shower or get dressed, anything. It's right there. And so one of the things I wanted to encourage you is if you do a vision board, make sure you're going to pass by it and see it a lot, because that is a major point, and I'll come back to that in a minute. So anyway, this is where it sits. I'm going to take it off there and go sit down and discuss the specifics of it with you. Okay, I'm back here. I'm going to sit down here and talk. I'm going to get my glasses on so I can kind of look at this while I'm discussing it with you guys. So I'm going to show you different parts of it. This is obviously not a tiny vision board, and I did not fill it completely up. I mean, it's got some white spaces in there, but I don't like that again, it's just personal taste. I don't like a vision board that's just too cluttered. I want to be able to actually see what's, you know, on there. So anyway, let's start. I actually divided mine into zones. And the thing is, it kind of highlights to me what are the most important things. So in the very center, I actually put YouTube. Now, what's amazing about that is when I created this vision board, I still was not monetized. I was not making any money on YouTube. And I basically, I'll show you the center of it. You see here that I've just talked about YouTube, and I have $10,000 on there. Which at the time that I made this, I thought that was like impossible. Like I didn't think there's any way I would make $10,000 in the year on YouTube. And I surpassed that. So, I mean, I didn't make, you know, 5 times that or anything, but I did surpass that, and probably I got about 1.5 times that. So the thing is, I looked at that every day, that 10,000 right in the center, and it was kind of like a goal, a mark, you know, to hit. And I really think that looking at that all the time had some impact on it manifesting in some way. So that was a big critical part of this. Now you'll see over here on this side that I have a lot dedicated to trips and travel, and I have maps and photos of beautiful places. And of course, that's always been important to me. So I think every vision board I've ever done has had a lot of that. But this was very specific. It's like I thought, where do I want to go? And of course, I didn't get to go there in 2024, but it's coming up right now in 2025. So sometimes there is, I think, a delay. When you make a vision board and you have an intention and you're saying, I'm going to do this, you know, it may not happen in 6 months or even a year, but if you keep focusing on it, I believe that it will happen. And I mean, again, it depends on your circumstances in life. Of course, if you get sick or you don't have the money to go, then that's different. But I'm just saying, if you really focus on that, you know, I always put travel on vision boards in the past, but then I never really, like I said, I'd put the vision board somewhere where I really wasn't looking at it all the time. This time I put it in a spot in my apartment that I literally see it several times a day, and I look at it and I go, oh yeah, that's right. I want that. I want to do that. And so I think you have to put it right in front of your face. And there's a lot of, I guess there's a lot of articles that discuss that, that the importance of that when you're doing a vision board. So let me go over a couple other things on here. This area up here is devoted to health, which I didn't totally achieve. This did not totally come true, but I followed a lot of the things on there, and other than really losing weight, I really did a lot of those things. I started an exercise routine, which I do every day now. I walk practically every day. I do things, drink a lot of green tea. So a lot of that is in that area about health and well-being. Again, the major issue was I really didn't lose weight this year. But that's going to change this next year. This area was about like creativity, and this is actually a picture of my guitar that I have now. And this was not manifested. I actually already had this guitar, but I put that up there as a great example of guitar was important to me and to continue to make music, which I did all year. And then these other photos are like a, you know, cozy cabin place. You know, like I would love to live in a place like this someday, like a tiny home that looks kind of like a cabin. That has not manifested yet, but I will continue to pursue that. There's a lot of positive sayings on here, which I got off of, you know, I had just like a little thing with stickers on it. About getting inspired, seeing the good in all things, treat people with kindness, be bold, dreams come true, I can and I will, look inside yourself. So there's a lot of those on here because I believe that words are just as powerful as images. So I have those on here. This has got really sticky tape on the back of it, and it's like, yeah. Anyway, I've already taken a photo of this for my phone, so I still have this to look at. But as I said, I might be doing a new vision board for this coming year, being gone. So stay tuned for that. I'll, might go into that. So let me talk a little bit more about, let me put the sticky tape thing down here. Okay. All right, let me talk a little bit more about what I think is important. Let me bring you a little closer here. About starting a vision board or doing a vision board. Again, as I've said before, you have to put it in a place where you're going to look at it frequently and not just look at it, not just glance at it, but look at it and go, oh yeah, that's right. And it's like the more you do that, it really makes an imprint on your brain. And so, anything that we focus on in life anything that gets our attention tends to basically have more power in our brain. Now, does that mean it's absolutely going to work 100% of the time? No. 100% of what was on that vision board did not manifest. But the biggest things, the things about YouTube and getting monetized and having an income from that, and also the travel plans, those have come true in that sense. I mean, they have come into reality. So I think there is something to the fact that this is the first time I ever did a vision board where I really was looking at it every single day, several times a day. I just couldn't avoid it. The minute I walked into the little dressing room to go to the bathroom, it was right there. And so even in the middle of the night, if I had to get up and use the bathroom, it's like it was right there because I usually turn on that dressing room light. So I think that's important. If you do a vision board, don't just tuck it away somewhere you're not going to see it. Make sure it's in a spot, like maybe, you come in through the door and where you hang up your coat or your shoes, you put it right there. So every time you come in and out of your house or apartment, you're going to see it. That's another good place for it. Another good place might be in the kitchen. You're working on stuff in the kitchen, you're cooking, and you look up on the wall, and there it is. So I think it's really important to put it in an obvious place that you're going to see on a regular basis. As I said before, your vision board can take many different forms. For me, this is what works. I like doing it on a poster board. I like having the visual elements. I like having the words. I like clipping the things out. If I ever learn to do it digitally, on a computer, then I might do that. But I think the danger of that is you're not necessarily going to see it or focus on it enough, even if it's your screensaver. Like even if you put it as your screensaver or desktop or whatever, you may not look at it enough because a lot of times we kind of tune out what's on our screen. We don't really look at it carefully. So, and I'm, like I said, being on a trip, I'm going to have to look at a vision board, on my phone. And that means I'm going to have to make a deliberate effort every day to look at that several times because otherwise, out of sight, out of mind, as the saying goes. If you're not really looking at it, it's not important to your brain. So that's what I have to say about vision boards. My vision board really worked for me this past year. And so I am now a big believer in them. I really am. And I don't think you're ever too young or too old to do a vision board. If your vision board is you're older and you just want peace and quiet in your life, then make a vision board that reflects that and surround yourself with that. It doesn't have to be about travel or money or anything like that. It can just be what is your image of the life you want to have? And I think that's what's important. So I'm sharing that with you today. Hopefully that helps if you've ever thought of doing a vision board or you want to make one that, really works for you this time. And like I said, I will, if I decide to do a new one, I will definitely film it and take you along for that. So I'm going to have to go down to the used bookstore in my town and see if they have old magazines because I have to clip a whole bunch of stuff out. So just we'll see. And I don't have a lot of time. I got a lot of other things I have to do, but I might do it. We'll see. So if I do, I will film it. No promises that I'm going to do one, but if I do, I will film it and put it on the channel. So anyway, when you're seeing this, it'll be right before New Year's. So I hope you all have a very happy New Year and remember to be kind and keep moving forward. Take care.